Your favorite editing app, CapCut, just updated their terms and conditions. And if you accept, you grant them unlimited, irrevocable, and perpetual rights to use your content in any way they want and exploit you as a creator. Is this really what we think it is, or what is just overblown? Will this update destroy CapCut, or the ultimate goal is actually much bigger and the whole point is just replacing creators with AI? And what are the alternative editing apps that you can start using today if you decide to quit CapCut for good? As a consumer, we already pretty much know that terms and conditions can say pretty much anything. This actually reminds me of a very old South Park episode, which is pretty much spot on with what's happening now. So for those of you who don't know what CapCut actually is, it's the editing software. It's owned by ByteDance, the same exact company that owns TikTok. And pretty much every creator that edits their own videos using CapCut, including myself. And I really like it. It's a cool app. It's very easy to use and you can cut a lot of videos pretty quickly. And if a creator doesn't have the editing team and the filming team and just working as a solo creator, then CapCut is a go-to. So after reading new terms of service of CapCut, it actually does sound very scary. And there's some wording that is very vague, but at the same time, it does sound very scary in some ways. But the actual concerns about new terms of services of CapCut might be a little bit overblown. But before you decide for yourself how scary it actually is, let's read what it actually says. Except as expressly provided, otherwise in these terms, you or the owner of your user content still own the copyright and any other intellectual property rights in user content submitted to us. But by submitting user content via these services, you acknowledge and agree that you allow us to upload such content to our server and hereby grant us and our affiliates, agents, services providers, partners, and other connected third parties an unconditional, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, fully transferable, including sub-licensable, perpetual, worldwide license to use, modify, adapt, reproduce, make derivative works of display, publish, transmit, distribute, and or store your user content for providing the services for you. You further grant us and our affiliates, agents, services providers, partners, and other connected third parties a royalty-free, fully transferable, including sub-licensable, worldwide license to use your username, image, and likeness to identify you as the source of any of your user content, including for use in sponsored content. Interesting. So after you agree to this terms and condition, does CapCut actually get access to your content forever? Well, kind of, but so do many platforms. And this language is actually not new. They just adjusted some things on their terms of services. And it's worth mentioning that the company cannot take your content and position it as their own. You still own the content and you still the owner of intellectual property. However, it will allow CapCut or TikTok to use your video as an ad as long as they credit you. You've probably seen some ads like that, where they post a lot of content creators and they mention them in the ad. So this is something like that. I read a little bit deeper into it, and what they're trying to show and trying to make it sound like is like, hey, you're using our services and you're using our servers and you upload your content to us, so we pretty much have the right to reuse it, edit it, whatever we want to do with that. And the thing is, you had exactly the same terms of services on TikTok for the last 5 years, and Instagram as well. And if you dig a little bit deeper, you're gonna find that this licensing language isn't just for CapCut. Every single social media has pretty much exactly the same language. So here's what the part of the TikTok terms of services says. You or the owner of your user content still own the copyright and user content sent to us. But by submitting user content via the services, you hereby grant us an unconditional, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, fully transferable, perpetual, worldwide license to use, modify, adapt, reproduce, make derivative works of publish and or transmit and or distribute, and to authorize other users of the services and other third parties to view, access, use, download, modify, adapt, reproduce, make derivative works of, publish, and or transmit your user content in any format and on any platform, either now known or hereafter invented. You further grant us a royalty-free license to use your username, image, voice, and likeness to identify you as the source of any of your user content, provided, however, that your ability to provide an image, voice, and likeness may be subject to limitations due to age restrictions. A lot of social media companies need these licenses, and a lot of creators falsely assume that all the social media is gonna start stealing their content and make millions of dollars. But that's not how they make millions of dollars. They make millions of dollars on advertising. More ads they're gonna sell, more money they're gonna make. And they cannot just take your content and use it however they want without your permission. What they can do is they can show it as their own ads, they can also show it as case studies and things like that to recruit new creators, so they can do that. But they cannot just take your content and say, hey, we're doing this, we're selling it to another company. And regardless, you will maintain ownership of your content. What else they're able able to do is something that no one's paying attention to. They are able to take your content and use it to train their AI. So they're training their AI, and is this something that you as a creator should be worried about? I believe that the answer is yes. And why you should be worried about this is because TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, they can't just go and sell your content to Coca-Cola or Apple or companies like that. They would need to reach out to you, negotiate with you, sign the deal, sign agreements, go with lawyers back and forth and things like that. But if the video is recreated by AI, they don't have to negotiate or talk to anybody. And what all the social media companies are trying to do right now is they're trying to create AI influencers that they have full control over. We actually seen this happen with Meta not too long ago. Remember when they created a bunch of AI influencers, and those AI influencers would follow people, leave comments, and it kind of backfired on them, but they did not cancel this program. They just took it out from the public eyes. It still exists. And there are thousands of AI influencers being created by Meta at the moment, and soon probably by TikTok, soon probably by Snapchat, that do follow people, and those accounts are engaging, liking comments, watching videos, and they learning. And those AI accounts becoming so realistic that soon we won't be able to tell the difference. TikTok, CapCut, Meta, YouTube, they're not stealing your content to sell it as ads. It's actually used to train AI and to replace you as a creator, and to start making similar videos and similar content ideas to sell to brands. Think about it. What is actually stopping TikTok or Instagram from taking your content, recreating it with AI, and using it as an ad? Nothing really. Here's the perfect example. Let's say I was hired by Apple to review their new MacBook. I made a video, I did unboxing, I did all this great stuff. Apple liked it, and then I posted on my socials. Cool, that's done. That's one part of the deal. But then Apple says, hey, I really like this video, I want to start using it as advertising. So that's where it becomes complicated, because they have to have rights for your content, they have to agree with you on the pricing, they have to negotiate for a while, they have to get lawyers involved. So it becomes really expensive. And actually I have a great story. I used to hire content creators to make ads for my company. And when I hired them, they did the post, and the conversation was, they said, okay, I'm gonna make a post and I'm gonna charge you a couple $100 to do it, just to do a talking head video. Which is fine, great. And then they came back and say, but if you want to use it as ads, you have to pay us thousands of dollars. So my question as the business owner right away became, why? Why do I have to pay you to produce content, and then I have to pay you another amount of money to advertise my business using the video I paid you for? So I always believed that if I bought a video from you, if I paid you for a video and I paid you for a content, I have it, so this is for me to use to however I want. So once I did the review and Apple decided to use my video, they have two options. So option number one, they can negotiate with me. If it's a very big influencer, let's say it's Charli D'Amelio, or let's say it's Kim Kardashian, yes, that makes sense, because these creators are actual influencers. And these types of creators, they're brands themselves. That makes sense. So let's say, for instance, I want to put Kim Kardashian in my video. She's already brand herself. People just by seeing her gonna recognize her and gonna come because they see her. But if some unknown creator who nobody knows, who barely has any followers, it doesn't make sense. And don't take me wrong, so don't start saying like, oh, Alex doesn't like creators. I love creators. There are communities that can actually move the needle and can do it with a very small amount of followers, but there are not that many accounts like that. Or they can just go to AI, say, I want this video, this way of talking, this type of a conversation, this type of a review, similar looking creator to Alex, and AI is gonna replicate it. And guess what? Since we signed off on the rights of name and likeness, similar looking AI created influencer will pass, and there's nothing we can do about that. And if Apple made this video with AI, recreating my video, they own it, and they can do whatever they want. Have you ever actually followed an influencer only to find out that they are not even real? And AI-driven creators actually becoming very, very big, and brands love them because they have a full control. They don't have to negotiate with creators, they don't have to talk to anybody, they don't have to sign contracts. They just tell AI what to do and what to post and how to make it, how they want it, and it's done. Very fast, very simple, never gets tired, always working, and can produce unlimited amounts of content very quickly. Remember this creator, Little Michaela? She is a fully made up creator who has about 2.8 or 3 million followers on Instagram. And last year alone, she made over $10 million for the company that created her. And she did posts for biggest brands in the world, and they keep coming back. Why? Because it's so much easier. And again, don't take me wrong, I don't see creators being completely removed. AI has one flaw. It cannot come up with creative ideas that humans can. It can replicate the ideas, and it can get very close. It can give you a bunch of options and bunch of similar things, but it cannot come up with ideas, brand new thing for for you that never existed before. And I think that's a part that's gonna always separate AI from humans. However, taking your idea, replicating it, that's definitely possible, and it's already happening. You can take a prompt, Alex reviewing MacBook Pro. Here's the video, here's the example. AI is gonna make me thousands of similar videos that gonna sound a little bit different, talk a little bit different, but it will be very similar idea. And then I can take thousands of those videos and put this as an ad to test and see which ad is gonna give me biggest conversion. And that's what I think it's all going towards. So right now, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Meta, Snapchat, they all need content to teach their AI how to do that. And eventually, it's gonna be a click of a button, thousands of videos, thousands of assets to test and try out and see which one's gonna work better, and then scale it up, which will make more money to TikTok, Meta, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. And I also think CapCut updating their terms of services because they want to take editing styles from creators. Let's say I'm editing a video and I want the style of Mr. Beast. So CapCut's gonna be able to do it via AI and just edit it exactly like Mr. Beast would. Or I want to go and edit like MKBHD. I want him to review my products. Similar creators, similar style, similar vibe. What CapCut's AI gonna do? Gonna make you exactly the same video, very similar to what you're looking for. AI is getting better every single day. There's no way for us to stop it. It's here to stay, and it's gonna stay here forever. It's going to become part of our lives. So eventually your unique style of editing, your unique looks, your unique style of talking and presenting content and telling stories might be replaced. Now, will this update kill CapCut? Probably not. People still will be using it, and people forget very, very fast. In about 2 weeks, it's all going to be gone like it never happened. Content changes very quickly, updates happen really quickly, new story gonna come up, and everybody's gonna forget that it even happened. While CapCut, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube gonna continue to develop their AI. And unfortunately, being active online and being a creator sometimes will require us to agree to things that are not going to be favorable, or we're not going to agree with that. There's no choice. You have to either agree with this or don't use it at all. So now, if you still decide to leave CapCut, what apps should you be using? So they're my top 4 favorite ones. My first choice would be Adobe Premiere Rush. It's a very fast app for very simple and very fast edits. Number 2 is Vita, a template-based app with very cool effects. InShot, perfect for animations and slow motion edits. And VN Editor, which is in my opinion one of the best apps for short form content editing. You also have DaVinci Resolve, which everybody's switching to. It's free, but it's very complicated. This is a professional program that's hard to use and you have to learn it. You also have Final Cut Pro, which is similar to DaVinci but much simpler, and it's made by Apple, so it works really good on Mac, but it's a little bit limited in my opinion. And you also have Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a great program to use, but it's complicated, almost as complicated as DaVinci, and it's hard to learn. So you have to spend some time learning it and understanding it. So leave me a comment below. I'm very curious if you decided to leave CapCut or you're still staying, and if you decide to leave, which editing software you're gonna keep using. And this is our video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I see you in the next one.